Well, it's time for this week's WTOL 11 Try This. Let's see. Recently, I've cut down trees, been a lifeguard, even a newscast director.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And I've gone to dance class, hung upside down, by the way.
That was
Been
funny.
a mud hens vendor
Yeah.
and a maid cleaning toilets.
Teaching you good things. Yeah,
Cleaning
all
toilets
good
is a
things.
skill we all need.
All good things,
Well,
yeah.
this time around, I'm seeing if I have what it takes to be a tattoo artist at Adrenalized Ink out in Oregon. Take a look. We are always looking for something interesting and different and fun. And so we were wondering, what would it be like to go to a tattoo studio and see how tattoos are made? We went to Adrenalized Ink and talked to Erica and learned quite a bit. So Erica, how long's your shop been open?
Almost 4 years in December. We opened in 2020.
Long hours?
Varied throughout the years. You know, when we first opened, we were kind of open, you know, that 10 to 9, and then as everything evolved, we kind of adjusted.
Now, when people come in here, how many of them are actually sober?
Everybody, what do you mean? What do you mean? Everybody. That's one of the reasons why we try to close early. We don't want mistakes. We want people to come in, make good decisions, and not regret, no regrets. No regrets, you know?
I thought of getting barbed wire around my bicep, and people think I'm a tough guy, but I'm not really a tough guy.
You look pretty tough. I think you got it. I think you got it.
What are we doing today?
So first we're gonna lay a stencil. So I have over there your fake skin and your stencil. Before we get started, you might want these.
As they do on ER.
Snap, yep. Here's your stencil for practicing purposes. So this is your glide, your napkins, your machinery, and your needle. Typically, you're gonna wanna take some of this with your pinky, and you're gonna want to put a little bit on the back of your hand, just a little bit.
When I'm giving blood, I can't even watch the needles.
I don't like that. They're not the same. And don't give me a shot either, please. They're not the same. Tattoo needles, they're like surface scratches more than they are like deep tissue, and you don't want to go deep tissue. So they're a lot different, in my opinion, in comparison to needles. You'll find a starting point, and I like to pull down. Start at the center here as your starting point, and then your goal is to keep the needle, while it's running, steady in the same depth and steady in stability so that it doesn't show shakiness.
I can't do that.
You got this.
I can't do steady.
You got this. There we go. There we go.
That was not a straight line.
There you go. Nice job. That was really
straight.
good.
Huh?
That was really good.
Yeah.
Did you turn me upside down?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just checking.
This is easier to do at this angle.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean,
That's what makes it hard.
You can't do that to a person, obviously.
Yeah,
but
exactly. I think if I were a spider, I would be happy with my house.
That's a little rough.
Yeah, a little slower. And do you see how your color saturations are a little bit different too?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm an open canvas. I've never been tattooed before. I don't like pain, and I'm too indecisive in what I would get.
Indecisions a lot of the times are most people's concerns when they get their tattoos. Personally, I feel like when you're ready, you'll know, and when you want it, you're gonna get it no matter what, which is one of the reasons why we wanna make sure you have a safe space to come talk about your ideas, because you might not be ready, so don't get pressured. Talk about it, have some ideas. This is your shader, so imagine it kind of like paintbrushes. You know how paintbrushes will come on like a flat, an angle, around. We have similar needle groupings to do
You show
different
me what we're
textures.
doing here.
Okay, I can do that. We're gonna do what's called a whip shade, and you'll come in and you'll just kind of whip out. And it'll create like a texture for you and a shading. There you go. Taking this. So it'll hang up next to mine.
Okay.
Right over there.
Okay.
How'd you feel?
That's exhausting.
Isn't it?
It is.
What's your favorite part?
Just learning how to do it, how difficult it is.
It is.
And I didn't think it was easy. I didn't think it was a piece of cake. But the people I know that have these things, like, wow, you got to sit there for a long time.
So you have to make sure that your client is well prepared. They know what they're getting into. They prepare their body because, you know, it's a lot of shock to the body. Their skin's got to be prepared, well hydrated, you know, sugar intakes. So we always make sure we do good breaks. And like I said, all of it is strategy.
That was Erica from Adrenalized
Wow,
Ink.
how
She
interesting.
was wonderful. Really
Yes.
enjoyed the time with her. So remember back last fall when we started the 4 o'clock show, one of the first stories I did like that, and try this, I was a nail technician.
Right. So
And-
you've come a long way, Dan.
No, I haven't.
I didn't think your spider web was bad.
It was better than the
You stayed
spider
in
web
the
I was
on
putting
the nail.
on that girl's nails.
Yeah.
I destroyed her nails with that rotary thing
Yeah.
where you clean them up.
Yeah.
I just destroyed that.
So it's a good thing they didn't give you a real person
Yeah.
for the tattoo.
Yeah, I was worried about actually having to do a tattoo, but like, yeah, they bring out this. It was a kind of a plastic or
Yeah,
maybe
but it
leather.
kind of mimics,
It
I'm
really
guessing,
does,
like
yeah.
skin.
So that's what I was able to track it on, and like, I'm not very skilled at that. It
You know what,
makes
guys?
me appreciate the skill they do have to do that.
That artistry that's involved, and then, you know, as you want it to look consistent, and yeah, I don't have a tattoo.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Now, she asked me, you were asking how much does a tattoo cost?
Yeah.
And the price range is so varied because it depends on, some tattoos take a long time
Right.
to put on, maybe 8 hours to do. Some maybe only an hour. Some are more complicated, require more, you know, fine
Intricacy.
stuff. And so the price really depends on all of that.
It just
so.
depends on
Yeah.
what you want to get. I don't know, maybe. I
Years
should think
ago,
about
my
it.
wife and I were on a vacation. The temporary tattoo lady came around, and let's do that. Let's do that.
temp
I went through the
tattoo.
book, flip it. I couldn't find a temporary tattoo. That's how indecisive I am. So there's no way I would ever be able to get a real tattoo.
Well, it's still super interesting to see that work because it requires a lot
It was
of
very
skill.
cool.
So good job. Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, remember, we want to know what you want us to try next. Email your ideas to news@WTOL.com. We'll see if we could set something
And
up.
no snakes, okay?
No
And no parachuting.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a heights person either.